chaps have just headed out. They're on their way up to Birmingham and then they're going over to Chesterfield. And as well as that, I'm actually gonna be doing some post-production. My God, the image out of the C400 and C80 is... Hello and welcome to another episode of my vlog. You're joining me on Monday, the 3rd of March. We're already in March, can you believe that? And we're kicking off to what is going to be quite a nice little week. Today has already been, like every other Monday, absolutely chaos, but we're managing it and we are making things happen. We've had a good little kick off this morning, getting the week into gear, shifting priorities, doing all this, that and the other. And I've spent my sort of morning working on some quotes. Today I've got to put together 3 quotes for 2 really exciting projects and one that is interesting. I'm not going to call it exciting yet because there's a few unknowns, but it could be very cool. The weekend was pretty good. You would have seen at the back end of last episode I was working pretty hard, and lately my mental sort of state has been a little bit put to the wayside and not in the best of ways. But as of the weekend, I've returned to the gym and I feel absolutely terrible. The gym is meant to make you feel good, but I feel absolutely awful. So for your reference, for those of you that have been watching for a long time, you'll know that in November of last year we did Movember, and for that we committed to running, walking, whatever, a certain distance. And at that point in time, that's when I basically stopped lifting weights and I only just ran. I ran throughout November, December, and then this year I set a resolution to continue running, not as much, like 20 kilometers a month. So far, I've failed January and February on that front, and I've literally just not gone to the gym at all. So this was essentially my first time lifting weights in about 4 months, and my God, I have lost everything. Like, I can't lift near what I could lift before. Everything hurts, especially my legs. Like today, oh my word, like climbing the stairs is just horrendous. So lesson learned, keep on top of fitness and don't let it get shrunk like that, because that is not the best of feelings. The weather today and the weather on the weekend has been stunning, and it finally feels like a little bit of spring, which is definitely helping pick up the vibe. I actually went out on Sunday and washed my car, which was really nice. There's something quite therapeutic about it. I feel pretty good right now. So kicking off Monday in a pretty good vibe. But otherwise, we've also got 2 really cool shoots. The chaps are going to be on those, not me, but they will take you behind the scenes. They're going to be heading to Birmingham and then Chesterfield to capture some documentary-esque kind of content, which should be pretty cool. Ties on to the shoot that we did last week down in London, so it'll all make sense at some point. Welcome to Tuesday. Yet again, last night was another late night, but made some nice progress, and I'm sort of lining things up for this week and getting things progressed. Today is pretty awesome. The guys are going to be getting a bunch of kit prep done for the upcoming shoots, and as well as that, I'm actually going to be doing some post-production, which is so rare for me. Like, it's something that I love doing, but I never get the opportunity to. But because of the way that our schedules are working at the moment, and the chaps are out on shoot, and Ben's busy, Max is busy, I'm being roped in to help out. And it's doing one of the things that I love doing the most, which is color grading. This is going to be on our sort of like big short film project that we've been working on over the last couple of weeks. For your guys' reference, unfortunately, because of the rapid turnaround, we won't be doing anything in DaVinci this time around. It's all going to be done within Lumetri Color, within Premiere Pro, which I think is still more than good enough. Like, if you know how to use it, you can get a bloody good result out of it. Yeah, I'm just excited. I love color grading and I love editing, so it's nice to get back on the tools and doing some cool stuff. Let's get into today. Welcome to Wednesday. The chaps have just headed out to their first day of 2 shoot. They're on their way up to Birmingham and then they're going over to Chesterfield. It's time to carry on with this colour grading and get it wrapped up. Darren and Sam are back out on shoot, enjoying the lovely weather that we've had recently. The aim of this shoot is to capture some documentary-esque case study content, and the idea is for it to feel as authentic as possible. For the interviews, we're using a static camera as our primary angle, and then for the secondary angle, we have Sam on the easy rig so that it feels a little bit more personal, and we're able to change the shots throughout, getting tighter for more emotional moments and wider for more generic coverage. And then for the B-roll, it's all about being efficient. So no lighting, as authentic and as documentary-esque as possible, using a handheld C400 and the C80 on the gimbal. Welcome to Friday. It's been an extremely busy week and day so far, but I've just wrapped up the colour grading on our short film project, and I have to say, my God, the image out of the C400 and C80 is stunning. There's just something about that full frame look that's just like cinema. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's just lovely. And obviously like the codecs, the way that you're able to stretch the image and pull colours from here or, you know, shift them in this way, and it doesn't just completely destroy itself, it's lovely. And I wasn't even grading in DaVinci, which is where you can really go to town. Like, I'm actually excited for a project where we can push the limits in DaVinci, because even in Lumetri, I was genuinely surprised at how good the image is out of those cameras. And the thing is as well, is I was surprised about like the dynamic range on those cameras, because we've come from using the C300 Mark III and the C70, which we still have, and I love those cameras thoroughly. And what was great about those was that dual gain output sensor that they've got, which is kind of a similar technology to what you find in the Arri Alexas, where it kind of, similar to like HDR, it kind of records, you've got your like exposed shot, one that's slightly overexposed and one that's underexposed, and then it merges those together in camera to give you more dynamic range and less noise in the shadows and all that kind of stuff. And I've always loved that. I thought they were quality. Like when we first upgraded from the Panasonics to those cameras, I was like blown away. But now the C400 and C80 have come and they don't have that dual gain output technology. It is just nuts. And those new DZO Vespid lenses, wow. I'm in love with the image out of those. It's just, again, like cinema, if that makes any sense. They're not sharp like a photography lens, but they're not soft like a proper like heavy vintage lens, like a Cooke lens. They're just kind of like that perfect balance in the middle, and the way that they flare when the sun hits them, and the highlight roll off, and the color reproduction, the contrast, they're beautiful. I couldn't, like, for the money you pay for them, for the value for money, those lenses are stellar, and I've had a great time playing with those. I wish I could show you more of the footage that we got and the color grading. Like, I'm sure the B-roll section you've just seen is kind of a lot of just me and like maybe the color wheels and things, but that's because we can't spill the beans on this project just yet. But just know, as I've said bloody too many times, there's a documentary coming, you will see more, and eventually if the project is released before the documentary comes out, I'm sure you'll see a little bit of some of the final frames within this vlog as well. But yeah, obviously you're going to see other projects that are shot on the C400 and C80 very soon, so you'll see a bit more of like what they're capable of. But just know those cameras are absolutely baller, and I'm over the moon. Anyways, it's time to wrap up this week. Apologies, it's been a little bit of a short episode. Short and sweet, shall we say. But yeah, we're just really up against it at the moment, and we're sort of just kind of like battling on and trying to hit deadlines and push through, make sales. But we've got some really epic weeks and episodes coming up soon, so stay tuned. It's about to get very, very cool. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's episode. As you've just seen, the chaps have just left for their shoot of the day. We're finishing the short film project. It was a war with the alarm this morning.